So hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. The model, it's die-cast review. As you can see from the preview images, this is not the copy of another video that I already made of the same car, the 312 T4, you know. This is the newest version they just did about Gilles Villeneuve, and yes, it's basically the same model that we already seen in the other collection. You know, they're making now these two different collection. One is the Le Grandi Formula 1 and Le Grandi Ferrari. So this is just the series dedicated to the Ferrari, and of course, as it was nearly obvious to expect from them, they proposed the car they already made nearly 1 month ago, couple of months ago, about the Jody Scheckter, car number 11. They also made the same version used by Gilles Villeneuve, so the car number 12, and it features some minor differences. You know, the first and the most noticeable one is about the tires. I don't know how correct they are. You know, these were in the ideas, you know, the car raced with two different tires. So the car from Jody had the Goodyear tires, instead this one had the Michelin tires, you know, and they properly changed the sticker over the wheels, you know. And they also proposed this one in the rain configuration. I don't know if the pattern is the correct one for that years. I really don't know that. And there is also slightly minor differences, like the front and the rear wings have a red plate at the side that was not present in the Jody Scheckter car. Minor different, of course, the decal, and probably the nicest different features of the model, that is basically the €5 of difference in price. It is about the showcase. They provide this nice showcase in solid plastic, so not any longer this one that they provide in the other series, that when you open the model it's exposed, so you have the problem how to protect them from dust when you want to show them without the plastic over. Instead, this is a nice idea. I mean, it's absolutely worth it. The car basically is at the same identical price, you know, and it's absolutely a bargain, because if you have to find just a covering for this car made on the sides of this, can be a little tricky, you know. They also changed the direction of the model, because the other one, the Jody Scheckter car, is posted in this configuration, so with the front part going to the right. Instead, in this newer one, probably also because they changed the position, of course, of the writings and so on, they are all placed in the opposite direction, you know. So it's very minor different, but that's it. I could not miss the car, because anyway, even if I already have a T4, you know, remember that until a few years ago, just to collect a 312, already also in 120 was nearly impossible. You know, you just could find a 112 made by Tamiya many years ago, immediately after when they won the world championship. We are talking of early 80s, you know. This was, I think, the 1979 world champion of Formula 1, and this was also quite famous because it was one of the first real winning car, despite the horrible look of the car, you know. It's ugly. The T4 was named the UFO, so it was really very ugly car, but it was a very winning, very performance car, you know. Strange shape, absolutely strange shape, as it was so common in the 70s, you know, to have strange shapes and so on. I think the nicest, in my opinion, the nicest I collected until today of this period could be considered the 1980 Williams FW07B. That is absolutely the nicest shape of a Formula 1 car. It's something that if I have to draw a Formula 1 car, I would probably make that shape, you know. But this was anyway a winning car, and this was they changed some minor stuff in the 80 to make the T5, but the T5 was absolutely not a winning car at all. It was a switching point between the 312 until the 126 CK RC2 version from 81 and 82. The way became infamous for the death of Gilles Villeneuve, this guy, and for the badly hurting and the end of career of Didier Pironi. But that's it, you know. That's part of the game. It's part of this history. As I say, the model is absolutely well done. They are absolutely stunning items, you know. I call them toys, but really they are increasing more and more the quality of this model, and remember that you are paying all this stuff 30 euro. This is for 30 euro, everything you see here, including a nice book as a reference, you know, is a short reference book that explains all the stories about this model, so it's not me knowing them, I give them a brief read before. And also quite interesting peek, you know, if you like Formula 1, you see that's the price, what I paid. There it is, 29.90 euro. That's it. So usually people report that this model have a minor problem, not so minor, you know, that during the transport of the models to the newspaper shop, many of them get damaged both in the showcase, you know, when they throw stuff inside shops and so on, and in the part, many of them have the rear wing that is extremely delicate and the sensitive part of the model that is broken every time. These models suffers a little less, probably, you know, for the position of that plastic supporting the wheels. You know that I always say in my videos that they all have the problem of the front left wheel that is constantly folded, wrapped, you know, and I think it's because of this plastic that force over the lower part of the wheel, giving that type of problem, you know. And that's it. I think it's anyway worth it. If you really don't like the car, is another matter, but I mean, this was Gilles Villeneuve car. Gilles Villeneuve is my favorite driver ever, you know. Didn't win a shit, but he was absolutely, in my opinion, the most loved Formula 1 pilot, you know, of the real golden age of this motorsport, you know. The interior details, as usual, from this company, just a decal of the seat belts. You will never find photo etched parts, photo etched details on this model, but that's okay for the price range that we are talking about. Also, some other parts are quite thick, considering if you take a Tamiya 112 model, you understand that one at once what I mean. And just as I said, my concerning is about the pattern of the wheel, because I'm not so sure that that pattern for the rain tire, you see, that is correct for the period. For sure, it is not the same wheel they used in this other model. I just had a mail call right now before I started my video, because they reissued this. This was the first one of the first Formula 1 collection that will be in the next video I'm going to do. And you see the wheels are different anyway, so it is not the same. It's similar design, but the wheel is larger on the McLaren, as it should be, you know, in the Senna McLaren of I think it was 88, I think it was, so 10 years later car. That's it. I love Gilles Villeneuve, and this absolutely is another masterpiece. And when they make this type of Ferrari, they are making several interesting cars. You know, as I said, I don't like all the Formula 1, so I just took, for the price mostly, the first edition about Leclerc and Kimi Raikkonen, you know. And you are really to like the very modern Ferrari. For me, they all look the same. Since 15 years to now, they always look the same. So I prefer much more this older model, these 70s cars, and even more rare, driven by a hero like Gilles was. That's it. I love it, and thanks for watching. See you in the next.